Hello everyone, welcome back. It's so good to be with you. I'm Deborah Mann, and today we are talking about something you have never heard about, or perhaps a take on borderline personality disorder. Stick around. Firstly, welcome to the new subscribers. Yes, we're a family of tribal thrivers. We've gone from survivors to thrivers. Yeah, it's nice to have you. Thank you so much for joining this channel. I hope you get loads out of it. If you want more info and tutorials and fabulous stuff, please visit Patreon. The link's down below. Now I'm going to read you something that comes out the Bible, and this is not a biblical story, but I'm going to explain something to you guys which I don't think has ever been touched on before. This is a quote, and that is, "The sins of the fathers shall be visited upon the sons." What does that even mean? It's open to interpretation, and this is what came to me. See how it fits with you. If you have borderline personality disorder, or you have a loved one who has it. Firstly, we know what borderline personality disorder is. It's an unstable, dysregulated emotional self. People with borderline are like grown, wounded children. All right, I won't go into the illness in this video, except to give you another look at why you might have borderline if you have it. The sins of the fathers, let's break it down. Take away the word sins, right? So say the mess up, instead of sins, the trash of the fathers, meaning parents. So the trash of the parents will be visited upon the sons, meaning the children. I always use the word sons. It doesn't mean boys only. So here we've got the mess of the parents will be passed on to the children, as in the children will suffer. Having studied borderline personality disorder myself, I understand the disorder, but I had never understood it in this way. It's mainly believed that the child or children would have been sexually abused or physically abused in another way, emotionally, mentally abused, neglected, and so on. That gives birth to borderline personality disorder. I had a lady who asked me, why do I think she has borderline? Because she had a fine childhood. So that's what got me to this Bible verse. This is my opinion. It's not in the DSM, and I haven't run it by any psychiatrist. I don't think I need to. And so if it resonates with you, then fabulous. If it doesn't, that's also fine. So how about this? If your parents were at each other's throats 24/7, your father was always drunk, yelling with a loud voice, sleeping, or at work, so there was no attachment there. Your mother, on the other hand, was always either in bed because she's been beaten up, in hospital, depending on how severe she's been beaten up, and she's tending to her wounds both physically and emotionally, because she must be terrified if that's how she's being treated. So where does that leave the child? The child is then left terrified, no? Watching his or her parents carry on like this, and of course they get neglected. The child will be neglected because the mother can't cope, and the father's always drunk, and the children are terrified of the father or the child. So then doesn't that make more sense to people who say, but I had a perfectly fine childhood? I mean, my parents fought, but all parents fight. How do all parents fight? To what extent? I'm just saying that that's a scenario I'm giving you. Because if you believe you had a perfectly normal childhood, but your father or your mother drank a lot, mostly when people are really pissed, to put it straight, they don't give a shizzle about anyone. Okay, least of all the kids. We're just talking about borderline. I am not here to pass moral judgment on drinking. I had a beer last night, thank you. And it was freaking good because I was celebrating something. So there you go. If you look at it like that, it makes much more sense. There are so many people who believe that they've had a normal childhood. They call it a normal childhood. Not happy, normal. But please don't think that I am saying you mustn't drink. Of course not. I'd never ever say that. It's ridiculous. Obviously, if you have small children, it's not a good idea that you get smashed out of your tree every single day and you can't tend to your kids. Then I would say, bad idea. So the sins of the fathers are visited upon the sons. It means the parents going at each other like Rottweilers. That's called the sins, all right, of the parents have an effect on the children, are visited upon the sons, have an effect on the children by birthing borderlines. It's the best way to put it. So if that makes sense to you now, if you think you've had a normal childhood, but you have borderline and you don't understand why, then maybe that's something to look at. That's it from me. Something for you to think about. I'd love your comments, and please subscribe, like and share, and I will be back with you very soon. It's been great.